for medical and therapeutic ganja. But the Labourite, them take it and them wreck it. And we have to fix it now. Because small farmers must have a place in that industry. They're the ones who build the brand. Rastafari build the brand too. And they must have a special place. The Maroons too. Indigenous groups must be respected as part of the constitutional reform of the country.
Simply,
that everybody who lives in this parish will be able to have water in their homes. They can go in the shower and turn on the pipe and say, shower. Your own destiny. And this is something that no other government has done and put their amount of money that we have put $2 billion Jamaican dollars.
So the government of Jamaica has again played in the face of public sector workers. Can you imagine government owe your money from 2022? At 2025 we in and our all. Now you can't hear nothing about your money.
Because there seems to be some confusion or misunderstanding on the part of some workers who expected to receive this and have not. So if you could answer those, and have another set of questions.
All right, in terms of your first question, has everyone received this? No.
me rascal, me tell you wickedness can't done.
No spin, no cover-ups, just the truth. This is Jamaica in Focus, bringing you the facts, exposing the lies, because Jamaica deserves answers.
If you've ever planted a crop, paid for your own farm inputs, and still watched politicians take credit while you struggle, this might hurt, but you deserve to know.
Now welcome back to another exclusive for life. Now blessing goes out to all my viewers and all my subbies, all my well wishers. Like, share and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. Coming up in today's topic and review. Now much blessed and blessed to my viewers and my subscribers. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to another exclusive for Hot Topic discussion and review. And you know the standard rules. Before you even watch the video, press the like button, press the subscription button. If you are one of them where I watch and now press the subscription button, may I turn you into a subscriber right now. You, yeah man, press that button, press the like button. There we go. Alright. In this one, here we have Mark Golden explaining to the nation, once he win, how he gonna make sure that every single Jamaican have money in them pocket. Now I'm telling you about this green gold, You see, once this green gold become legal in the nation, youths can also them thing, elders can also them thing, plant them thing, get them thing, out of the place. And this is all through the government, You understand? Listen to what he's saying. We also have Julian Roberts tackle Favor Williams, the financial minister, about these public sector workers that hasn't get them pay what they've been promised them from how long, and the due date end in June, and them not get them money. These are the things me I tell about with this government. So where the money there? But here we have Darrell Draws. I tell the people them about him have how much billions to wire them house, and him have how much years to did that, but him never do it. But now election here, them a promise to the moon, the world, the star and the seven seas, everything. Them a true at but uno can be fooled and get tricked by them promises. Me also have number 28 gone to Manchester, gone promise the people them water. I thought about say but give the people them shower. And you want hear the people them a ball out. Before them run with them and tell them what say, them want bath. Them want lay down and relax in a bath. Them don't want a shower. Now, let's get into this broadcast. Check out the Mark Golden I say, and hold it more. Interesting topic coming up in this one. Let's get it.
When the taxes go up, what you think people are going to do? Just absorb that? No man, them find a way to put it back on the price. So everybody have an impact. And so that is what we did. We managed the economy in a way that take the burden of the people.
We're going to decriminalize personal use of ganja, so them can't arrest and charge you for a spliff or a jar of weed or even a chalice. And if you have a police record for personal use from before, you have a right to get it expunged so you can travel, go a foreign, or you can work in the public sector, which is before was denied to anybody who had a little criminal record for possession of a little jar of weed. So that was then, and we developed the ganja industry as a lawful industry for medical and therapeutic ganja. But the Labourite, them take it and them wreck it. And we have to fix it now, because small farmers must have a place in that industry. They're the ones who build the brand. Rastafari build the brand too, and they must have a special place. The Maroons too. Indigenous groups must be respected as part of the constitutional reform of the country. So people, we have a whole heap of good ideas, and all of our ideas are about empowering the mass of the people. And of course, the business community don't have to fret, because we're going to ensure that the bureaucracy is as efficient as it can be. I personally am going to put that as my portfolio, making government more efficient. I'm going to chair a task force, a working group with the right people on it, so that if all the rules of government that make life frustrating for people who deal with government and don't make no sense, we're going to cut out those things, and we're going to deal with the things in a way that people can say, yeah, Jamaica's a good place to do business. Jamaica's a place where you can get through fast. Jamaica's a place where you have to spend a bag of money to do something which shouldn't cost an whole heap of money. That is what we are about. So the business community can thrive and can invest in the country. And for the small business and the startup business, we're going to develop a special set of rules for you. We're not going to charge any income tax on the business for the first 3 years of operations. And we're going to do other things to make life better for the small business community. Because right now, the government provides resources through the Development Bank of Jamaica for lending to small business, but most of it never gets disbursed, never gets into the hands of small business. We have to pierce through those things and ensure that the funds that are allocated for small business are distributed to small business so they can grow, because small business is some of the biggest employers in the country, and that's where you can have innovation, the natural brilliance of the Jamaican people.
Let's talk about the fertilizer scandal and the real cost of corruption in Jamaica. Because while the JLP government smiles for the cameras, our farmers are being robbed in broad daylight. Big up to everyone following at Jamaica in Focus. You've been asking for truth, and today, we're bringing receipts. This breakdown comes straight from the Auditor General's May 2025 report. And what it reveals is national disgrace. Between 2019 and 2023, Jamaica received 72,000 bags of fertilizer, a gift from the Kingdom of Morocco worth $349 million. This fertilizer was supposed to go to you, the farmers, free of charge, but over 11,000 bags were handed straight to members of parliament. And guess what? No records. The MPs never submitted distribution lists. RADA, the agency in charge, couldn't say where the fertilizer ended up. No receipts, no verification, no accountability. And while real farmers waited, some bags were allegedly spotted on private shelves for sale. Let that sink in. Donated fertilizer meant to support food production being flipped for profit. It gets worse. RADA gave out 210 bags to private companies who weren't even on the approved list. No authorization, no vetting, just backdoor handouts. And what about the rest? Over 3,800 bags were spoiled and dumped. But no one documented how. No written approvals, no dual custody. Just fertilizer disappearing from the records. The inventory system? Manual. Incomplete. Riddled with holes. No digital tracking, no real-time logs, just handwritten sheets that don't match reality. Even the Auditor General couldn't trace 800 bags that were supposedly in storage. RADA's own records couldn't back it up. One officer, just one, was managing warehouse security, adjusting inventory, and signing off on disposal. That's not management. That's a blueprint for fraud. And let's be clear, this isn't just mismanagement. It's corruption. They didn't just drop the ball. They kicked it out of sight and hoped you wouldn't notice. Well, now you know. And the question is, what will you do about it? To our farmers, take note. They come to you every election, smiling and shaking hands. But when it's time to deliver, they deliver to themselves. This is more than fertilizer. This is about trust, about food security, and about justice. This is Marcus, and you're watching Jamaica in Focus. Comment below. Have you or someone you know received the Moroccan fertilizer? Or did it disappear like everything else? The next election is coming. Will you reward this level of disrespect? Like, share, and follow at Jamaica in Focus for truth that digs deeper. What if the best qualified candidate was already chosen and they changed the rules to pick someone else? This is Jamaica in Focus, and this is a follow-up to our investigation because the story of the FID appointment just took a darker turn. We now know former Deputy Police Commissioner Fitz Bailey was selected in the first round for the FID top job. With decades in law enforcement, tackling fraud, organized crime, and cybercrime, he brought the kind of profile many expected for Jamaica's top anti-corruption post. So what happened? The job was reposted, the law enforcement requirement was removed, and the weeks later, Dennis Chung got the job. An accountant, no training in covert operations, financial crimes, or cyber forensics, but a history of defending the Prime Minister. Multiple access to information requests were filed, asking who made the change, why it was made, how many people applied, and why the top-scoring candidates were passed over. Each time, denied. Even the job description, the internal memos, and the ministry's role in the hiring, all denied. Only the signed contract for Dennis Chung was released. The government has denied 2 formal requests to explain why the criteria were changed. You heard that right. They won't tell the public why law enforcement experience was removed from Jamaica's top financial crime post. And now, pressure is building. The Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, the Manufacturers and Exporters Association, even the private sector organization of Jamaica are all calling for answers. Business leaders want transparency because public trust is on the line. If there's nothing to hide, why block the information from the public? Why pass over the top cop? Why change the job description? Why lock out Parliament? Because when you connect the dots, this starts looking less like a hiring process and more like a cover-up. And if you've been locked out of the truth, we want to hear your story. And what we just uncovered raises even more questions.
So the government of Jamaica has again played in the face of public sector workers. Can you imagine government owe your money from 2022? At 2025, we in and all. Now you can't hear nothing about your money. Then come out and say, alright, we are going to pay uno money in a new financial year, which is April 2025. April come, you only see memorandum come down, or them are beg till the end of the first quarter. The end of the first quarter is June. June come and done. So it wasn't enough, so we now go pay the people them outstanding money. They pay late. They pay run late. And then now we now go send down, because we no love right, you know, we no love right. We now go send down memorandum about end of July. And then the powers that be are going to ask people to show restraint, exercise patience, and continue work like normal. Continue to be productive. I'm not lie. I feel like public sector workers are some of the most resilient, some of the most patient people me know, because me I tell you, if for some other group of people, brother, everything stand still. I want to commend the government, because in an election year, we not pull them stunt here, we brave. It's either we not really confident or we not really stupid. I mean, I always tell people, say it's not about the money, because we know the government love our people from 2022 in 2025. But you see, the principle, it always greater than the situation, brother. I wanna have some style, like pay there next week or this week, when I send out memorandum and tell people things. You don't know what plans people have for their money. We know say government work and not chop no big food, we not draw down the big pay a mountain. So why when mountain come, you can't pay the people them, the liquor them, where them forget chargy? Remember, so I take it upon yourself and reward on efforts, on contributions by 230% increase in our salary charge. I want to give public sector workers a drop in the bucket. And even so, the drop in a bucket, we want to throw at them, we still can't make the people them get it. I don't know, I just wish the people them did serious, brother. I wish the people them did serious. Because if you did promise me some money for run June come and no money no run. Not joker, man. Not joker. And then you gotta have a one smarty like me. We're gonna talk about it and it gonna make it look like me the bad guy. Everybody go about them daily like everything is alright. Everything is not okay. At the end of the month, the bank them still want their money for the loan them. If you live in a people house, you still have to pay rent. Your mortgage have to pay. The people them have to eat. So how do you expect people to function on promises, brother? Me say me wish every politician would be given the task to survive on a public sector worker salary for the month. Mind you, some I wanna blow away month salary in like a day or a week. I wanna still a dangle this in our face, brother. Like uno fi careful, you know, charge it. Uno fi
your own destiny. And this is something that no other government has done and put their amount of money that we have put $2 billion Jamaican dollars in this program alone. And we are intending to get all houses wired that want to go on the grid and pay GPS. Too many children are dying, too many houses are being burned down because of irregular connection.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says rural areas are now booming with new housing developments. Speaking at a party meeting in Manchester over the weekend, Dr. Holness noted that many of these houses are being built by private investors. To facilitate the rapid expansion, he added that plans are in the pipeline for the Greater Mandeville Water Supply Project to be fully implemented.
Now, up here what the news are saying now, that the Prime Minister number 28 say more houses are being built for the nation, but it's private investors building these houses.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says rural areas are now booming with new housing developments. Speaking at a party meeting in Manchester over the weekend, Dr. Holness noted that many of these houses are being built by private investors.
So may I wonder what happened to the NHS house? No, continue to listen to this because I go show the drama, you know. I go show no drama. Listen to him, I say.
Once and for all, we will ensure that there is water in all the rural reaches of Manchester, so that everybody who lives in this parish will be able to have water in their homes. They can go in the shower and turn on the pipe and say, shower.
Now, my viewers, haven't you all noticed how the government suddenly, as it approached the general election, how they doing so much? Now, Darrell Draws is saying that they are spending how many billions for wire people out because so many children have lost their life.
Your own destiny. And this is something that no other government has done and put their amount of money that we have put $2 billion Jamaican dollars in this program alone. And we are intending to get all houses wired that want to go on the grid and pay GPS. Too many
So I guess it a go take election for approaching all the time to get the best out of these politicians. Now look at it. Look at what they doing all of a sudden. And we know it's all promises. Listen to number 28. Water go come to Manchester now. And remember, you know, this are him big friend constituency, you know. And for how many years he promised the people them water. And hear him come again and promise them water. Yeah?
Once and for all, we will ensure that there is water in all the rural reaches of Manchester, so that everybody who lives in this parish will be able to have water in their homes. They can go in the shower and turn on the pipe and say, shower.
But them people are worthless. Because before them run with the man, them they are clap. But hey, him say, them are gonna have water in them pipe for shower. You know, so them worthless. Well, if you no vote for PNP, you shall be having a bath. Lugs with bath, you now go lay down and relax. None of quick shower. None of standpipe shower. Like with 28 I promise you know. Vote PNP. Una get lugs with bath. Una go lay down in and have bath. And that una deserve. Don't make this man give una less than one you deserve. Shower.
Once and for all, we will ensure that there is water in all the rural reaches of Manchester, so that everybody who lives in this parish will be able to have water in their homes. They can go in the shower and turn on the pipe and say, shower.
Run away with this one, make him know you want shower and bath. I'm tell you, 21st century this, you know. Where am I go with shower? A standpipe thing I talk about, you know. Where you stand up outside and you have a little pipe put up, you know. You don't look a hose, you know, you take a shower, you know. That him a go in, you know. And so you don't have the ambition. Make this man know so you don't want shower and you don't want big bath, you know, in the house. One can full up and relax and lay down. Like how PNP is.
Workers. Minister, I just have a couple of questions. I'm going to deal with the first set. Can you state whether all categories of public sector workers who were entitled to receive what I would call the increments, the 3 years of increments, whether they were actually paid by the end of June? That's the first question. And if they were paid, whether they were paid in full. Secondly, could you state which categories of public sector workers were not entitled to receive the 3 years of increments? I do know that persons who would have been acting in positions or not in their substantive positions would not have been entitled. But are there other categories of public sector workers who were not entitled to receive this, and whether those categories were communicated to and with? Because there seems to be some confusion or misunderstanding on the part of some workers who expected to receive this and have not. So if you could answer those, and I have another set of questions.
All right, in terms of your first question, has everyone received this? No. Because various ministries are at different points in terms of the information that is required to be submitted to the Ministry of Finance and the Public Services. So to the extent that a ministry has completed that exercise and funds have been allocated, you know, they would then proceed to pay. If they've not completed putting together the information on the employees or eligible for this, because remember there are three categories for these increments depending on when you entered the service and how long you've been there. Right? There are three different categories for that. So
can I just follow up on that then? Can you state then of the categories who are entitled, are you in a position to state what percentage or how many of those workers have in fact been paid and how many are outstanding. And I think the distinction you made is important, because to an employee not receiving it, they don't really care whether it's the ministry not prepare it or the central government not pay it out. Them just don't get their money. And I think it's important for that communication to be there, because I know there is some unease among people who expected to get by the end of June as per the agreement with the unions, and they are yet to receive.
Well, I know that the bulk of persons would have received based on the warrants that were given to the MDAs. Again, as I said earlier on, the ministries are at different levels in terms of their information, their HR information. There are some ministries that are on the My HR Plus system, and they were able to submit their information right away. Persons were paid. There are others who, despite their efforts over the years, they're not there yet. So it takes them a lot more time to compile this information. And that's why we have been just drumming it into the MDAs, encouraging them to get on to the My HR Plus system, so they have a good handle on their employees.
So is that optional or is that mandatory?
It's not optional, it's mandatory, but it does take time because of the number of employees, especially at entities like the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the number of employees that are there. I can tell you that at the Ministry of Education, having been there and spent the last 4 years working with them to get onto that system, they were able to produce their information, and I haven't heard that there's an issue at that entity. But we're working with the other ministries to have them understand how important this is for them to have their data in the format where they can easily generate reports and manipulate that data, so that in moments like this, when you have to make big payments to many employees, it is seamless. And so that's what we're working towards.
You said bulk. Are you able to be more specific than that, to say whether it's 70% of the eligible workers, 80%, what number? Because there are workers listening who thought they would have gotten something by last week in the June pay period. They haven't received it, and they certainly would want to know that they're going to receive this in short order. So are you able to say that?
Okay, I can only say the majority. I don't have the specific percentage. I can only say the majority of persons.
All right, can you say the categories that were not entitled to receive this increment?
Contract officers, for one. Those that are not aligned to the relevant scales are not eligible to receive, and there may be others, but that's the one that comes to mind.
So you can state that for those employees who are yet to receive it, the issue here is that their respective MDA has not submitted the information for payment to be made.
They may be in the process of, there may be any number of issues associated with it, but we have ensured that the funds are available. They're there and will be allocated once we get the correct information.
So would you be in a position to give a timeline as an outer limit on which all those outstanding payments would be made?
I'll just wait a word from the financial secretary. All right, so what I'm hearing from the financial secretary is that funds were provided to all. We would have to do our checks with all the particular ministries to see how far they are in their process in their processing process.
Minister, it's important that there be communication to the unions on this. I understand what you're saying. It may not be a Ministry of Finance issue per se, but it is one government. And at the end of the day, the persons who are expecting to receive this quote-unquote back money haven't gotten it. And the things you're sharing, them not really business with.
So remember, when you consider, if you go back to March of this year, within the month of March, there was a lot of agitation about the circular to go out by the 1st of April about the increments. We sent out the circular. MDAs knew that they had to put their information together and submit it. Not all of them did in the time frame expected.
No, that's here the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that the communication for those who are outstanding, the MDAs that have not provided information, is important that be shared with the respective unions so that those persons who have not been paid have an understanding of why they haven't been paid, and that the issue is not that there is a lack of funds. But as I said, it is one government, and at the end of the day, they need to at least have a time frame by which they believe the outstanding payments would be made.
Sure.